Hey everyone, welcome back to the Going Zero Waste YouTube channel. I'm Kathryn Kellogg, and today we're going to be talking all about, is zero waste expensive? Is it? Is zero waste expensive? Well, as most things in life, including sustainability, the answer is it depends. It's really gray. It's like a really gray area, and it depends on a couple factors, I think. It depends on how you're consuming before you go zero waste. It depends on how you're consuming, how you're shopping. I think will really depend on whether or not zero waste is going to save you a whole bunch of money. Of course, living a zero waste lifestyle, you are buying reusable items, which means that you reuse them over and over and over again. So inherently that will save you money. So if you're not using paper towels, for instance, and I've got a great video called the 6 tips for ditching paper towels if you're interested in checking that out. And if you're not buying other paper products like paper napkins, if you're not buying a whole bunch of packaged processed food, this will save you money, of course. Not buying disposable water bottles. Not buying sponges, there are just so many disposable items. There's so much trash that we pay for. And when we start viewing what we throw away as money, I think our perception really changes, because zero waste living really is depression era living. Like, the whole entire concept of it is to waste nothing. It's to make sure that we're really mindful of what we bring into our homes, make sure that what we're spending on is something that truly is of value. And for me, opting for disposable products isn't something that is going to be inherently valuable. And I have saved quite a bit of money, and I always thought I was pretty frugal beforehand. I always thought that I was really careful of my spending, but I was still buying quite a few disposable items. I was still buying paper towels. I was still buying a lot of paper products, plastic baggies, and, those paper lunch sacks, like those ones that used to roll up. I was just buying a lot of disposable items, and I never really thought about those as something I didn't have to buy. That was the way, I was raised. We bought a lot of those things at home. And so the thought of not buying them whenever I realized I could just use reusable products was really kind of mind-blowing. Just sad to say, but I did definitely make a lot of changes. And over the time, I think I calculated all of my blog, and over the course of about 2.5 years, I had saved around $12,000. And you can check that blog post. I will link it down below. I think if you really truly take a step back and start phasing out all the disposable items, of course, some of these items will be an investment up front, but typically they do pay for themselves. And I think that's something that's really important that we keep in mind when we talk about living a zero waste lifestyle. So a plastic bag has, I don't know the exact emissions a plastic bag creates, but I know that a paper bag is 3 times higher than the carbon emissions of a plastic bag. And a reusable bag, I believe, is like over 100 times more emissions than a paper bag or a plastic bag, because it does take a lot of resources to create. And so we have to make sure that we're using our reusable bags over and over and over again. I will find the exact study. I think it's 300 times or maybe 500 times you have to use that bag in order for it to have the same effect as a plastic bag. So I think it's really important that we're not going out and we're not buying a whole bunch of other stuff, but we're continuing to use what we already have. And that is one of the core tenets or pillars, a core principle, whatever you want to call it, of zero waste, is reusing what you have instead of going out and buying new and buying more. So yes, I definitely think zero waste can save you a lot of money, but also if you view zero waste as a consumeristic ideal and you think that you can just buy your way out of zero waste or buy yourself to zero waste, and you're constantly buying more and more and more, I think it will definitely be more expensive. So I want to talk about the few areas of shopping. So we're going to talk about 5 areas. We're going to talk about groceries, makeup, clothing, and disposable products. That's 4 areas. We're going to talk about 4 areas that I think are kind of the most common when it comes to buying things. So first of all, groceries. My husband and I have lived on a grocery budget of $250 a month, and we eat mostly local and mostly organic. And we do that because we are very, very conscious of what we buy. If you guys are interested in my 5-minute meal plan, is a great blog post. I have a resource because I think meal planning, not wasting food, making sure you're utilizing the whole aspect of the food. I don't know. But like onion skins, right? You wouldn't normally eat onion skins, but instead I save them in the freezer and I use them to make vegetable stock. So this is a way that I'm able to not, I don't have to buy vegetable stock, and I'm able to save something that would be wasted. And it's just kind of, I make sure that I store my food properly, and I'm just really conscious about what we buy, and that enables me to save a ton of money on that front. And I know that it's different depending on where you live, but here in California, we have access to amazing farmers markets all year round, and the farmers markets are much, much cheaper than going to the grocery store. I have found the exact same produce by the exact same farm in the grocery store marked up 200%. Where if I just bought it directly from the farmer, then I could have gotten it a lot cheaper. I could also get it without any packaging, and I'm getting to chat with a farmer, which is always really, really nice. So I definitely think that you need to check. You can definitely check prices in your areas to see, but on average, oh, this is a great example. I just went to Rainbow Grocery, which is an amazing, amazing bulk store in San Francisco. It takes me a long time to get there, so I only go probably twice a year. I make sure that when I go, it's a very rare trip. And I found bulk laundry detergent. I saw it in a box. A 5-pound box cost $15.75. That's insane. But the exact same powder in the bulk section was $1.85 a pound. Now, I haven't done the math recently, but I'm going to do the math right now. I'm going to do the math. So, $1.85 a pound is $9.25. That's a savings of $6.50 if you didn't buy it in a box. Okay, that's crazy. And for me, most of the groceries and things I found have been cheaper in the bulk bin than they have been in the packaging. So for me, groceries was definitely a win. Also, it prevented me from buying a lot of Oreos and Pop-Tarts, which I was definitely buying beforehand. So that was also another added bonus. Okay, makeup. So when it comes to makeup, toiletries, bathroom products, things like that, I have pretty much broke even on that aspect because I do sustainably packaged, and like green makeup can be really spendy. I will be totally honest about that, and skincare as well. And I've definitely spent way more money in that aspect, but I do feel very happy about the purchases that I'm making and about the companies that I'm supporting. My best tip, no matter what you're buying, is to have a one in, one out policy, which totally just changed everything for me and saved me so much money. Because before I would be like halfway out of an eyeshadow or a blush, and I'd be like, oh, I need to go to the store and I need to buy a new one. And then I'd get there and I'd buy 2 or 3. And then I just wound up having this stockpile of all these beauty products that I wore 1 or 2 times. And so now, if you think about a capsule wardrobe, which has become so popular, I think an even better idea is like a capsule makeup collection, like just the few items that you always, always wear. And then I don't let myself buy one until I'm either like so close to being out or I'm completely out. And that really helps me a lot with saving money. As far as other bathroom items, like switching over my razors and switching to bar soap and switching to an organic shampoo, which can also be really spendy, but I have been able to stretch, I stretch my washes and I make sure I'm only using the exact correct amount of product I need. So that way I'm not overdoing it. And I've noticed my products also last a lot longer whenever I'm using the correct amount instead of overdoing it. Those have definitely saved me money. And I say one of the biggest ways that we've saved money in the bathroom is by installing a bidet attachment, because my husband and I, we've managed to cut our toilet paper usage down exponentially. And also reusable menstrual products have saved me a lot of money in the long run. Clothing, now we're getting into clothing. So I try to buy quite a bit of my clothing secondhand, but I also really love supporting sustainable and ethical designers, and I love supporting local makers in my town. So I definitely do spend my money that way because I want to support them. Of course, shopping secondhand is inherently much, much cheaper. So I think this is also one, it depends. I am very fortunate, I'm very blessed, I have a lot of privilege, and I do have disposable income, and I do choose to use it to support ethical designers, because that's something that I really want to support, and that's something I really want to see more of in the world. And then disposable products, which we talked a bit about, which has been probably one of my biggest areas of savings, is not buying a ton of packaging, definitely shopping secondhand first. And then of course, phasing out things like paper towels, paper napkins, baggies, aluminum foil, wrap, plastic wrap, those things. So I've saved a lot of money in that aspect too. So is zero waste expensive? It just comes back to, it depends. It depends on how you're consuming now versus how you will be consuming in the future. I would love to know if you found that going zero waste has saved you money, if you think it's more expensive, or if you think it's just a wash and that maybe you've kind of wound up breaking even. So let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and press that big red subscribe button to be notified when new videos are coming out. All right, well, I will see you next week with a new video. Bye.